Hi everyone, it's great to be able to share another video with you. It's wonderful just to know that you're being encouraged and challenged by myself and Pastor Rich. So thank you for all those encouraging words for us. And today I want us to think about the day when we're back together, because I'm sure we're all missing one another so very much. My heart is yearning for that time that I can hug and sing and break bread together. I miss it so much. And this time apart has allowed me to reflect, I think, and to think about the day when we do and are able to come back together. And my thoughts were drawn to a couple of verses. And one of those verses was John chapter 13, 35. And in that, Jesus says, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." And in this verse, Jesus isn't talking about some kind of wishy-washy fairy tale love. Jesus is talking about real love, the love of Christ, sacrificial love, the love that is patient, long-suffering, forgiving, kind. All these things that Christ showed up. This is the love that we are to show to one another. And as I was thinking about us being able to come back together, I was really challenged, because within this verse there's a group of people that I've never really associated it with, and that's the children of the church. Jesus says in that verse, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." And it really got me thinking when I thought about the kids of the church. Does the world see something different in the way we treat and love our children of the church? That's a real challenging thought for me. And then I read those well-known verses in Matthew 19, verses 13 to 15. And in this, we see there's a gathering of people. Jesus is there, they're teaching. And then it starts in verse 13. "Then the children were brought to him," that's Jesus, "that he might lay his hands on them and pray. But the disciples rebuked the people." God's disciples, those who follow Christ, rebuked the people. But Jesus said to his disciples, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of heaven." And then something really stood out for me in the next verse, in verse 15, because it says, "And he," Jesus, "laid his hands on them," the children, "and went away." I was wondering how much blessing had been cut off in that meeting with the disciples and the people, because Jesus rebuked his disciples, he blesses the children, and then he leaves. I wonder what would have happened if the disciples had shown the love of Christ to the children. And that got me thinking, do I always show the love of Christ to the kids? If the world saw my heart, saw my actions, would it see something different to the world? Or would it see the impatience, the unkind thoughts, the unkind actions, the grumbling, the moaning? And I was really convicted by that. And I wonder sometimes, have we not lost our salvation or anything like that, but have we pushed Christ out of a situation by the way we treat the children sometimes? That's what we need to think about when we come back together, I think. Just one of the things anyway. How do we treat the children? Do we show them the love of Christ? Do they see Christ in us? God bless. Take care. I pray and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.